Hello everyone. I had made this video like a little while ago because it was my vegan anniversary in June. It is now September, probably October by the time you see this video. Oopsie. I actually tried to make some scrambled tofu because I thought that was a really vegan thing to do, and the footage didn't come out very nicely. So I have already done this video technically, yet it still won't be all that coherent. It's all a big scramble really. 10 years goes by really quickly. It might help to say why I went vegan in the first place, to kind of wrap this all together. But essentially I went vegan because I already knew that horrible things happened to animals. I knew about the bear biling that happened. That was something that was horrible that I knew about when I was very young. And to me, the idea of animal cruelty or injustices towards animals and animal exploitation, they were far away concepts. They weren't things that happened here, because like anywhere else, we act as though we're so good for animals, we're a nation of animal lovers. That wouldn't happen here. It would happen elsewhere though. And for some reason we eat it up. I think it's because we don't want it to be true. And yeah, it ends up being the case that you find out what happens in your area and it is just like anywhere else. And that's exactly what happened for me. I think I was making a music video for a punk band. I asked them what their song was about. They said factory farming. So I looked up factory farming on YouTube. And the first thing that I saw was the dairy industry. And it made me realize there and then that it wasn't some faraway thing. It was actually a systemic problem. And I was participating in it directly. It was a slow process, but I figured it out eventually. And then I haven't looked back since. Since that time, I have seen first-hand experience of animals in absolute agony. I have seen them in farms. I have seen them when they're on their way to be sent to slaughterhouses. I have seen so many animals who didn't end up on supermarket shelves, but instead ended up just dying on the floor of some shed. And I think that's probably, because I'm quite a lazy person, I suppose, but I think just knowing that it really does happen, it is really terrible, and that one day it will be looked upon with absolute scorn. It will be seen as a stain in human civilization's history that we ever did this to animals. What a terrible idea it was to do this to animals and to continue it. And unfortunately it got wrapped up with money and it's just continued, and we lie to ourselves about it being acceptable. But we are actively talking about other sentient beings like us who have the capacity to experience, and therefore they can experience things such as love, and on the other side of that, pain and suffering. So the fact that we would subject them to that is just absolutely atrocious. And I feel like once you can't really go back. I feel like it's a process as well. I feel like I kind of understood it at the start, but it really didn't the understanding of an animal being their own and leaving them be, that really just didn't clock with me. There's so much to undo because we have so much societally, that someone isn't their own. We even have that with humans, and it is even worse so in the non-human animal kingdom. They have to serve us. They have to do something for us. They have to be cute. They have to be cuddly. They have to, be affectionate towards us. They have to speak our language. They have to do commands that we tell them to do. They have to be good, well-behaved, like citizens in our households before we will offer them an ounce of respect. Then that's not really respectful, is it? What I've learned as a vegan of 10 years is there's still so much to learn. It can be quite isolating because people hate you for being vegan, because partially they have these built-in assumptions, and I think as well they kind of feel a bit guilty. But yeah, I've been vegan for 10 years because it's not even the right thing to do. It's just stopping doing the wrong thing. You're not doing something amazing by doing it. It's like the bare minimum, just to leave animals be. They should have never been forced into this situation in the first place, And yeah, there's a lot, unfortunately. You don't start life with a clean slate. You know, there's a lot of things you have to learn, and a lot of mistakes that you have to make in order to realize, oh, okay, that's not the right thing to do. And it's really crap that that's kind of how it's set up. Humans have a lot of learning to do when it comes to the right things to do. And we will see in future a lot of laws changed, a lot of behaviors changed, a lot of, you know, topics, especially surrounding animals who aren't human. We will look at them very differently. And our relationship with non-human animals is just one of those things. And it is a massive thing because partially we subject so many animals to exploitation, killing and death. But it's something that's gone massively wrong and needs to be fixed. And it will, I think, eventually be fixed. I think people will look back, as I said, in complete scorn that it happened in the first place. And I think it won't be too long, to be honest. I don't think I'll see it, but I don't think it will be too long. And is it easy to go vegan? Well, I'd say, like, when I went vegan 10 years ago, it was much more difficult accessibility-wise. There wasn't all these, like, vegan meats, vegan cheeses, all of that stuff. And it was, like, very expensive in comparison. You had to go to, like, specialty shops to find them. So it was much more difficult then. Now I'd say it's very easy. It's not something, obviously you can't just go into a shop willy-nilly and just buy everything, but in a way that kind of makes it cheaper. So you are in a way restricting yourself, but you're also restricting yourself if you don't eat the flesh of dogs. But you wouldn't see it as being restrictive, you just see it as, well, why would I eat a dog? I've seen animal agriculture, I've seen free range, I've seen RSPCA approved. I've seen these places time and time again. They all look the same. It is awful. I have seen the bodies of animals in bins. I've seen chicks on the floor just completely malnourished, like they're parched. They are just desperate for water, but the feeders are too high for them because they're so small, so they're just left to die. And yeah, you learn all about these things that happen to animals and the things that industries do, and it's just horrific that they even thought to do these things in the first place. But yeah, I'm vegan for the animals, because why wouldn't you be? Why would you subject them to killing? And I can understand why people aren't at the moment. There's a lack of understanding, there's a lot to unlearn, but I just wish people would figure it out sooner. So that we don't keep having the same problem over and over again for trillions of animals. But yeah, just vegan because it means everything to the animals that we are vegan. So it's just something that I do, and I hope that the rest of the world will implement. That's why I've been vegan for 10 years, and I'll just continue to do so. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, salads, I will see you soon.